All righty. Got some people coming on in. Javon, good to see you. Scott, thanks for coming through. All right. Got a couple people as of now. We don't start until 8 o'clock Eastern. So as you guys are coming on in here, uh, if you can do me a favor, go ahead and put the state that you're in and the business that you might be doing already right now, whether it's real estate, financial services, insurance. If you're in real estate at all as a wholesaler, real estate agent, property manager, contractor, already a real estate investor, go ahead and put that in the chat. As you guys are coming in here, go ahead and put your state in the chat as well as where you're coming from. My goal tonight is to make sure that you guys get the most value out of this conversation as possible. We're going to be talking about something that I don't get to talk about with a whole lot of other people. We're going to be talking about making money, helping others make money. And I'm really excited to get to know all of you in this short time frame that we have. So as you're coming through, go ahead and put your state and the business that you're already currently doing, whether that's insurance, real estate, financial services. If you're not in real estate at all, say I'm in trucking. Good job, Javon. I see that you want to go out here and make some money. Nikki's already in real estate. She's in Texas. Ed was in Mississippi, and he's in real estate. Okay, very nice. You guys have made saw the ad and you're coming through here and you're wanting to make money in real estate. You may have some experience in real estate, you may not. Uh, a lot of people that register for this because they see private money brokering, they might already be in mortgages. They might be mortgage loan officers or working at credit unions, at banks, maybe. Stesh is in real estate and he's in Oklahoma. As you guys are coming through here, we're going to be starting around at 8 o'clock, which is in just a few seconds here. But as you're coming through, put your states in the chat and then the business that you are currently in, whether that be real estate related or not. I want to see where everyone's coming from and see what cross section of people that we can talk to tonight. We're going to be talking about private money brokering, which I don't get to talk about with a whole lot of other people. I mean, it's really just my tight circle of family members and then the people that I mentor and people inside of my business. But I don't get to talk about this with a whole lot of other people. So I'm excited to talk about this strategy with you guys on how to make money in real estate. And in my opinion, it's the fastest way to make money in real estate. It's the least amount of risk. You don't have to own any property. You're just helping other real estate investors do what they were going to do anyway. So if you are in real estate already as an investor, real estate agent, property manager, contractor, wholesaler, landlord, if you're in insurance or if you're in financial services and accounting, CPA, probably a really just wrapped up a busy time for you. You're thinking about other ways that aren't so time intensive or labor intensive to help your clients. And this is something that you guys can pick up. Um, so as you're coming through here, go ahead and put your states in the chat and what kind of businesses that you guys are currently doing. Will's in North Carolina. Uh, awesome. And Sharon's in South Carolina. Go Gamecocks. I'm a 2012 grad at USC there. Very good. We're going to be getting started pretty soon. Hiram's in Miramar, Florida. Very good. Thanks for coming through here, man. By the way, we're going to have a slide deck here. And I'm going to be popping in and out from the slide deck back to the chat to answer your questions. Definitely don't be afraid to ask any questions. And then by the end of the presentation, if you have anything that I didn't address or you wanted to, really just dive in deep on it, then we'll be able to pull you up and we can talk here because I guarantee you that there's people that are listening tonight that have the same exact questions that you do, but they're just afraid to ask the question. And so you'll be doing them a service by doing that. All right. Uh, One thing I want to get out of the way, just abundantly clear. Most of you probably have been on webinars before, and a lot of them go like this. Some guys talking for 35, 45, 50 minutes, and you're like, okay, well, what the heck is the point of all of this? Yeah, I'm interested. What are we doing? And then you get hit with like a high ticket, sales pitch. That's not what this is about. Yes, there is going to be an investment at the end that, if you guys want to take the next step and take this business seriously, then we're going to be doing a 4-day intensive boot camp on the week of May 5th, where I'm going to show you exactly how to structure this side hustle or structure this business, and you can scale it however you want. And you're going to work with me and a select group of people that want to make that investment, and we're going to help each other grow. So if you're not here for that and you just want to get as much information as you can tonight and then go about this business on your own, then believe me, there's going to be lots of info tonight and you're going to get a lot of value out of tonight. So make sure that you ask as many questions as possible, and I'm going to be here to answer those questions. All right, guys. So let's get started. By the way, if you're just jumping in, make sure you put your state in the chat and then what you're currently doing for business. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about making money as a broker. And that's definitely intentional. We're going to be talking about how to leverage the BRRRR strategy to help real estate investors do what they were already doing anyway, which is building and scaling their rental portfolios and fixing and flipping houses. And we're going to be able to earn 4 to 5 figure checks by helping them do that, by getting them access to capital that allows them to do their deals. We're going to be talking about hard money and DSCR loans. Those are integral to the BRRRR strategy. So if you're already familiar with real estate and the BRRRR strategy, and you can talk about it as from a high level, then this is going to come as second nature to you. Don't worry. If you've never heard of it before, then tonight we're going to go through it step by step, and I'm going to show you how to position yourself as a private money broker and help real estate investors get the money that they need in order to execute this strategy. I believe that this is the most effective way to position yourself as a broker, because upfront, you're going to be able to provide them with capital to purchase and rehab a property. And then you're going to be able to provide them with the permanent financing that they need in order to stabilize a property and earn the monthly cash flow that they so desire. And on both of those loans, you're going to be able to earn 4 to 5 figure checks depending on the size of the loan. Okay. So who is this for? This is for people that have tried wholesaling, but can't keep up with all of the cold calling or spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month to talk to distressed sellers that everybody else is trying to talk to. This is for real estate agents that are seeing other agents do more transactions than them and making bigger and bigger checks inside their brokerage and wanting to get a competitive edge so that they can be a higher top of the production board. This is for insurance agents that are writing policies to investors and have those in their network and want to provide them with additional sources of revenue, not only for their business, but helping those business owners and investors do what they were already doing anyway, and having one source for their insurance and their capital needs. This is for CPAs and accountants that are seeing real estate investors buy properties at scale and wondering how they can get in the game without having the risk of owning properties or dealing with tenants or fixing and flipping properties on their own, by simply helping them get capital to helping them get capital to do what they were already doing, which is building and scaling their rental portfolios and flipping houses. And how fast can you really get paid? Well, the average hard money loan closes in about 2 to 3 weeks. So if you have this built-in network of real estate investors that you're already tapped into, and you can position yourself to help them do what they were already going to do already, this is something where you have those people in your Rolodex. If they have a deal that they're looking to get funded, this could be something that you do. And as soon as 2 to 3 weeks, maybe as soon as we hang up tonight, you reach out to Ryan, you reach out to Sharon, who's been blowing up your Facebook with how many deals that they're buying or how many or that they're looking for distressed properties to buy. And you say, hey, you know what? I can help you get the funds that you need in order to fix and flip that house or fix up that property to rent. This is also for people that have been on the outside looking in at the real estate game, maybe gone through a bunch of these webinars before, or seen wholesaling online, or didn't, or looked at being a real estate agent, but didn't want to take a 24-hour course to be able to do so, or 72-hour course or certification to do so. This business requires no licensing, and you can do it virtually. I do business in 46 of the 50 states simply by marketing myself on social media and through networking events and getting referrals. I have a steady stream of pipeline of business to myself without having to spend money on ads for directly this business. And being able to develop clients that are doing this and that are working the BRRRR strategy, and they're not just buying one or two houses a year, they're buying three, four, five houses a year. And what I'll show you as we go through tonight, I'll show you that you're going to be able to get paid twice on every house or property that these individuals buy. That means that there's two paydays in every time the real estate investors add a property to their portfolio. So if you can position yourself correctly, and if you can talk intelligently about helping these people achieve their goals, you can get rewarded for your expertise. That's who this is really for. All right. By the way, if there's any stragglers that are coming through tonight, make sure that you put your state in the chat and the business that you're currently in, whether that be real estate already, or insurance, or financial services, or anything else in general. So, what is a loan broker? Well, like I just said, we want to be the person that they think of when they're looking to go buy and fix and flip their next property. We're the plug. We're the guy. We're a consultant. We're connecting borrowers with funding and capital. We're the go-to. We're getting people what they already need. We follow through with the paperwork. We quarterback the transaction to close. We make relationships with title companies and insurance companies and real estate agents and wholesalers. And we ensure that everybody falls in line, gets to the finish line, and closes. And we earn a fee on that, 1 to 3%. Now, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when we're talking about moving hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars, 1 to 3% can really stack up. I charge a minimum of $3,000 every time I broker some money. So that means that if we're doing a $300,000 loan, I'm at 1% of that. More to come. So who am I? You guys just hopped on here like, yeah, I saw your ad, buddy, but like, who are you? Well, my name is Hard Money Gary. I fund real estate deals all across the country, helping business owners build and scale their rental portfolios, as well as get into flipping houses. I do that by getting them access to hard money and DSCR loans. But first and foremost, I'm a husband and father. I don't sacrifice my time to earn a check. This business allows me to have a lifestyle where I can work from home. I can be available to my kids who are at daycare if they're sick and they need to be home for a day. It's not going to impact me or my family's lifestyle. My wife's a teacher, so we have very nice summers. This is something that I do full time, and I help business owners achieve their goals of building and scaling rental portfolios and, living out their HGTV dreams. Okay. I help them get the capital that they need in order to fix and flip houses. So back in 2018, I started out as a wholesaler. I was one of the acquisitions managers on several teams, cold calling and negotiating contracts with distressed sellers. And That's really where I mastered the transaction. So I would be going out to the hoarder houses, negotiating the contracts, making the offers, determining what a good offer price would be for properties. And I also, on the back end, if you guys aren't familiar with wholesaling, what we were doing is we were getting properties under contract, and then we would sell those contracts to other real estate investors, people that were looking to buy fix and flips and buy rental properties. So being close to the transaction and understanding all of the moving pieces, I saw how title worked. I saw how insurance played a factor. I saw obviously how to write up a deal that would look profitable for not only the wholesaler, but for the end buyer. Because as you know, if you've been in the game a little bit, uh, if you are trying to wholesale a deal and your buyers aren't making any money, you're not going to be wholesaling very long, and you're going to get a reputation that there's no meat on the bone when you have a deal. So you got to be good at making your numbers work up front. And that's one of those things that I bring to my clients whenever we are looking at a deal. I want to make sure that they make money. And that's first and foremost. When you're bringing your expertise to the table, and I show you how this business works, you have to act as a lender and qualify not only the borrower, but the deal, because you're only going to get paid once the deal closes. All right. So being close to the transaction, I was able to grab my first rental property. And without knowing it, I was executing the BRRRR strategy. I'd gone to a meetup and met a hard money lender, and he gave me his business card. I figured I'd hold on to it in case there was ever an opportunity that I had to pick up a rental property. I knew that eventually one day I was going to build and scale my own rental property, so a rental portfolio. So I figured I'd have the hard money lender, the guy of the group. Okay. So being close to the action, a property came across our desk that we got under contract. It was in the area that I wanted to invest in. The cash flow looked great. It was a really great deal that we had gotten under contract, a property for $50,000. And it needed a little bit of work, but not too much. And I knew that once we got it rented out, it was going to be a great, consistently rented property that we were going to make cash flow every single month. But I didn't have all $50,000 to close on it. I had $20,000 available. I had done that through earning commissions and wholesaling and doing business. So not a whole lot, but enough to be able to play the game. So I called up the hard money lender. I said, "Hey, Frank, I have this deal that we got under contract. We're going to be closing on it in a few weeks. Can you take a look at it? Maybe if you want to help me get it funded, then we can work things out." He asked me a few questions about how much cash I had, how much experience I had, and what my credit looked like. And because it was a relatively small deal, he gambled on me. He said, "Hey, I'm going to get you 90% of the purchase price, and that you just need to bring the other 10% to closing, plus points, fees, and closing costs. And then as you go through the milestones of your project, I'm going to reimburse you as you do things on your rehab. So once you do the kitchen, once you do the bathroom, I'm going to get you paid back your kitchen and bathroom." I said, "Okay, sounds great." Well, I had understood a little bit about leverage, and I knew that I wanted to keep my capital on my own, and this seemed like a really good deal. So I reached out to a friend of mine and I said, "Hey, man, I know business is going really well for you. Can I hold 20K while I fix up this property? I got 20K right here. So if anything fails, I'm going to get you paid back. And once this property gets rented out, then we're going to refinance and I'm going to pay off the hard money loan. And the way that the numbers look, I'm going to be able to pull out enough cash to not only pay you off, but put some additional cash in my pocket." And that is the BRRRR strategy. And once I figured out that that was what it was buying a property that was at a discount, rehabbing it, getting it rented, and then refinancing, and then repeating the process. I had to tell everybody. And so I told everybody. I said, "You got to be doing this." And not only, and it helped us grow the wholesaling business, but it helped me grow my network of real estate investors that saw me have the expertise of this specific strategy. As time went on, I wanted to stop working for somebody else and I wanted to invest in myself and really make a bet on myself. And so I opened my own company, Gershon Flip and Rental Loans, and we focused just on hard money and DSCR loans. And in 2023, we did $105,000 worth of commissions. In 2024, we did $165,000 in commissions. That's actually a little bit less than what we actually did. And then here in 2025, we're on track to do $250,000 worth of commissions just from brokering, just from helping other real estate investors get the capital that they need to do their projects. All right, so I said that I would be bouncing back from the slideshow and then back into the questions. So let's take a look here. All right. So Scott's joining us from Sarasota. Awesome, man. Gemma from Miami. Looks like we're hitting Florida hard with these. Patrick's on Long Island. He's getting some coffee. All right. Gerald is in Delaware. I'm closer to Delaware. I'm in Chester County, PA, Michigan. And Lisa is a business loan broker. Nice to see you. I'm very glad that you're here. This is something that you're going to be able to add in. If you already understand the brokering process, then this is absolutely a product that you can add in to help you get more into the real estate side of it. Gemma's in Miami, Patrick's in New York, and he's also a business loan broker. Very nice. Well, I'm glad that we were able to tap into some other loan brokers tonight. This is something where if you already understand capital stacking or SBA loans, merchant cash advance loans, then this is something where you can help those clients that are already business owners build and scale their rental portfolios, especially those with a little bit better credit on the 680 FICO score and higher. By the way, guys, if you have any questions at all, or if you have anything that you want to share, this is your webinar tonight. Okay. I like to be an open book and I want to make sure that you understand exactly how to make money in real estate with this strategy, on helping other real estate investors make money through the BRRRR strategy and positioning yourself as an expert in helping them get the capital that they need to execute what they were already going to do, which is build and scale the rental portfolio and buy properties to fix and flip. Okay, close for sure. All right, Gerald. Okay. You can handle questions now or you want questions at the end. Mike, I can handle a few questions now and then we're going to jump back into it. So go for it if you got a couple of questions right now. Gerald, you're already a real estate investor. This is something where if you're a successful real estate investor and you're putting yourself out there, there's a lot of pick your brain people. This is something where you can help them come along in the business, get newbies, you can help them get started without positioning yourself as like a mentor or a coach or a guru. You can help them evaluate their deal and then help them fund their deal and get paid to do so. Mike, yes, first is doing hard money. Are requiring a license to be able to submit loans to lenders? No. In 46 of the 50 states that I work in, you do not there is no licensing required. And if there is a license required for like for instance in California, Arizona, Nevada, then you can lean on the lenders that I work with on their license, and they oftentimes are able to work around that with you. Andrew, do you charge point loan? We're going to get to that. And yes, we do charge points. That's how we earn our fee. All right, guys, we're going to be jumping in here now. So if you all enjoyed the story that I told about how I uh, bought my first rental property, then here is the illustration. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. This whole strategy hinges on buying properties at a discount, which means that you need to find distressed property owners. That can be by way of death, medical, divorce, distance, and disrepair. Death would be somebody that inherits a property. Medical could be something like a hoarder house. Patrick, I see that your hand's raised. I'll be able to bring you up at the end. But if you have a question, just type it out and put it in the chat. So those distressors, death, medical, divorce, distance, and disrepair, those are what are going to allow a real estate investor to get a discount on the purchase because they're solving a problem. When the bigger the problem that you solve, the deeper the discount that you can get on the property because you're ultimately helping them solve that problem by having them sell you their property. Okay. Now that you've bought the property, you do need to fix it up. Okay. This isn't just something where you slap a coat of paint on it and maybe change out some fixtures or do the landlord special. You paint over the the light switches. That's not going to work. You need to be improving it so that it's worth more than when you found it. Otherwise, that repeat part is not going to help itself. You're going to end up leaving cash in the property. If you buy at a deep enough discount, the strategy works itself out. So, where do you get the money for the buy and the rehab? Well, I just told you that I used from a hard money lender. So, a hard money loan is a real estate investing tool that real estate investors use in order to be able to buy, fix, and flip properties, as well as buy, fix up properties to rent. You get money towards the purchase price and up to 100% of the rehab budget reimbursed to you as you go through the milestones of the project. It's a short-term high interest loan that you don't want to be in very long, but it is a tool nonetheless that you use as a convenience when you don't have all of the cash on your own to buy and rehab a property. Once the property is rented out, now you're showing value through the income of the property. You use a DSCR loan to refinance to pay off the hard money loan. And if you've approved the property so much so that you can pull cash out, that is how you repeat because you're paying off the hard money loan and any other down payment, points, fees, closing costs that you had on the front end. Any additional cash is gravy, but then you just do it over again. And that's how you can build and scale a rental portfolio from 0 to 3 inside of 12 months. Okay, so hard money loans are tools. Okay, they are tools amongst other tools like credit cards, like private money loans, like construction loans. They are tools amongst a myriad of other tools that you can use to buy and rehab real estate. If you position yourself as an expert in the hard money space, then you can work with real estate investors because ultimately, at some point, a real estate investor is going to need a hard money loan, whether just starting out or their private lenders don't have any capital at that time. So if they're buying a deal, then a hard money loan can close as quick as cash without them having to provide any proof of income, without it affecting their debt to income ratio, and without them having to provide any tax returns in order to qualify. It's based off of the deal. Okay. Now, these are short-term, high-interest loans that you don't want to be in very long. The average term length is going to be anywhere from 6 to 18 months. Ultimately, is going to be 12 months on average, and then 9 to 13% interest rate. That's a safe range. Most of the loans that I do are landing at around 10.5 to 11.99% and 2 to 4 points. We'll get into that in a second. What you're the advantages to using a hard money loan is that you can close as quick as cash. Okay. There's flexibility in credit when you have experience. And the property doesn't have to be in great condition. In fact, the worse condition that it is, the better for the hard money lender because they're typically positioned at a way where they're okay lending on a distressed property. Whether they're if the borrower doesn't fulfill on what they need to do, then the hard money lender has ways to be able to finish the job for them. Okay. So no tax returns, no income verification. Credit requirements are flexible as long as they have experience in cash and they close fast, which means that you, as a hard money broker, you can get paid quickly when you have those opportunities lined up. Okay, so here is the hard money loan process. You're going to talk with your borrower about the deal. You want to make sure that they have what their credit looks like, what their cash looks like, what their experience is, and if they're going to, and how they plan on making money on the deal. Once you've collected those data points, then you're going to go and turn over to your lender. You're going to talk to your rep about the deal, or you'll go directly to the calculator and put it in their scenario tool. You'll generate a term sheet and you'll offer those terms back to your borrower. Once they accept those terms, you can issue them a pre-approval letter that they can provide along with their real estate agent, or if they're direct to seller, then they can just accept those terms and you can get started. You collect the paperwork that you're asking for. It's pretty simple. LLC documents. You want to know that you're closing in the business name. You're going to collect their driver's license so you know who they are. A voided check so that the lender knows where to pull payments from. A scope of work of what they plan to do to the property so that you know what kind of improvements there's going to be. And the purchase contract. That's it. So simple paperwork that you're collecting and you're getting it to those people that need it. Then, once the paperwork has been provided, you're going to order some sort of valuation. It's going to be either a desktop appraisal or a BPO or a full appraisal that they pay for. Someone's going to go out there and take pictures of the property and view the property and drop their valuation. Once it's determined that the purchase price is at fair market value for its condition, and then the scope of work shows that they're going to improve the property, and the after repair value, it comes back where you guys are shooting for, you're going to confirm the terms. You're going to collect additional items from title and insurance so that you can tighten up the deal and get to the closing table. The lender's going to approve it and give you a clear to close, and then you get paid. It's as simple as that. That's why I love this business, is because it's a simple process, collecting simple documents, helping people do what they were already going to do, which is build and scale their rental portfolio and flip houses. You're going to just allow them to do it and get paid by doing so. All right. I'm going to jump out of here and take a look at some questions that we got here. Hard money lenders need to see 10 to 30% on your bank account, and they will give you the rest and 9% and X charge for their points. Mike Soto, you're not wrong. Hard money lender requiring 10 to 20% down initially plus points. That is in line with it. Yep. Credit stacking give you 0% interest, but must have high FICO score and low utilization score, or can't give you anything. Okay, Mike, do you want to run the webinar? If you want the 10 to 30%, if you can't get the seller to carry the 50 to 90%, where do you get the other 10 to 30? Private money for the 10 to 30. Okay. Okay. So, Mike, you're going real deep into it. And so here's the thing. When I'm working with a client up front, I want to work with clients that have good to great credit, have a 60, 80 credit score or higher. That way I can help them go and get the business capital, the credit card stacking, which they can then be their own private money lender. Okay. That means that they can use that funding to fund their down payment, points, fees, closing costs. And then the hard money lender comes in at that, 80 to 90% of the purchase price, plus 100% of the rehab reimbursed as they go through the milestones of the project. So yes, it's very synergistic when you have the capital stacking alongside the hard money loan. That's how someone can really accelerate the growth of their rental portfolio. Although, full disclaimer, putting that much debt on credit cards, if not timed properly and without proper execution of and project management, they could be on the other side of a 25 to 30% interest rate, which we do not want our clients to be in. So we prefer them to have cash, or at least cash or access to capital that they can use in conjunction with the hard money loan, so that we know that they can close and start the rehab before taking draws. Okay. So now they've got the property all fixed up. They're going to lease the property out to rent. So now the property is showing value through the income. Well, the hard money loan is a short-term high interest loan. Okay. So they don't want to be in it very long. Well, as soon as 90 days of ownership, you can do a cash out refinance using a DSCR loan. A DSCR loan is a debt service coverage ratio loan, which is a real estate investing tool that investors use in order to put permanent financing on a rental property without having to provide any proof of income or tax returns to qualify. It's based off of the property's ability to pay its own debts, not their personal income. And those debts and fixed expenses are principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. If you're doing a condo or a townhome in an HOA, then yeah, there's going to be the condo fees or the HOA fees are factored into it. But for a standard single family rental, it's going to be principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So the purpose of this is to put long-term permanent financing on the property so that they can cash flow. Once they've improved the property so much so that it's worth more than when they found it, then they can access additional capital. Okay, you can refinance up to 75, potentially 80% of the property's new value. So if you did buy at a discount when you use the hard money loan up front and you fix it up, then you got the property rented. Now it's time to refinance to pull that additional capital out and make sure that the property stabilized and cash flowing. We are doing this entire process in the name of a business. We prefer to use an LLC, but other business structures are there as well, like a corporation or an S corp. But it is certainly a great alternative for a borrower that is already a business owner. So for example, if you're already a business loan broker and you're working with a pizza shop owner that wants to get in on rental properties, well, they might not be showing all that much income because they can barely pay themselves, but they have a lot of cash available. Okay, well, they can put it into a hard money loan, put it down on a property, fix it up, and then refinance and pull that extra capital out. Now, the DSCR, the actual debt service coverage ratio, how that is expressed is the annualized rent, so the gross rent. So if something's rented out for $1,000 a month, then over the course of a year, then that would be $12,000 gross annual rent. And then over its fixed expenses. Now, the ratio, that's a division problem. If you guys understand math, then you know that we can get approvals for a 1.0, but that's just breaking even. They're not really bringing home any additional cash. So we'd prefer to see that they have a 1.15 or a 1.25, a 15 to 25% gross profit margin when we see that gross annualized rent over its fixed expenses. That will indicate to us that they have a cash flowing rental property and they're not going to be put in a worse position when they refinance than if they were to just sell it as a flip. So the DSCR loan process, it's really easy, especially if you had already gotten them the fix and flip loan or the hard money loan up front, because you already have their entity documents and it's been approved. And a lot of times you can work with the exact same lender that you hooked them up with for the fix and flip loan. You can refinance with that same lender. So you take a look at the property and review the pictures, confirm that they've taken their draws and done what they were intending to do. You collect the lease that they have for the tenants that are in the property. And then you make sure that they get a pre-approval. You turn the information and the data points over to the lender, or you go directly into their calculator and you put the inputs in there. And then it spits out the preliminary term sheet. You provide it to them, and then we know what to do. We go and order the valuation, which is going to be some sort of an appraisal. Most likely it's going to be a full appraisal that they pay for, anywhere from $600 to $800. And then once we get that property value confirmed back, we collect additional documents and submit it to underwriting. Now, this underwriting process is going to be longer than the hard money loan. A typical DSCR loan is going to close anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, on average 30 days. And this is because underwriting is no longer dating the property, they're getting married to it. This is a 30-year loan, okay? Once the underwriting is completed with the valuation confirming the value, then we confirm the terms. We grab some additional items from insurance. We send additional requirements over to title. Then we get the clear to close, and that's where you get paid. Now, if you were doing a $300,000 loan up front and you earned 1% of that up front, and now it's worth 500,000, but you're getting them a $400,000 loan on the back end at 80%. Now you've earned 1% of that, 3,000 plus 4,000, that's $7,000 that you just made off of one property and one client. You see, we're not chasing deals anymore. We're developing clients so that we can have a roster of people that are doing 3 to 4 properties a year, and you can see where those numbers start to stack up. If you have 5 clients that do 3 properties a year, that's 15 properties times two. That's 30 loans that you could potentially originate if you're making $3,000 per loan. That's the opportunity that we're looking at here. All right. So I'm going to step out of the slideshow here. I want to make sure that you guys are getting your value out of here. Okay, Javon says, nice, cool. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm going to take a couple of minutes before we go on to the next step. As a reminder, yes, we are going over everything that you need to know to understand this business from a high level. If you guys are already seeing this business and thinking to yourself, all right, I think this is something that I can sink my teeth into. I think this is something that I want to understand how this actually is structured and how I can make money off of serving the clients that I'm already working with or tapping into my existing network. We're doing a boot camp on the week of May 5th. Okay. So at the end, we'll talk about how you guys can get inside of that and really take this opportunity by the horns and start building your clientele base, building towards the financial goals that you are trying to achieve in real estate without having the risk of owning any property or having any money to lend out on your own. This is something where you're helping other people get access to funding that on the back end is never going to run out. There are always going to be sources of capital to fund in real estate. You just need to position yourself between the people that need the money and the people that have the money, and you will be able to make commissions forever. Okay, Will Harris says, do you need an LLC to do this business? Technically, no, but I would encourage you to get an LLC, and it's really not that hard. If you want to do it on your own through your Secretary of State website, it might run you under $100 to do it. If you want to use a service like LegalZoom, Taylor Brands, or one of my partner companies Ready to File, then it will run you around $500 and you get that ease of somebody else doing it. Will we be able to do loans in California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Texas as a broker and be able to make commissions without a license? I can tell you for certain, Colorado and Texas, absolutely. In California, Nevada, and Arizona, there are some restrictions on licensing. However, the lenders that I work with allow me to leverage their license, and I'm paid more as a referral partner. They close on the loan and then pay me on the back end. So yes, we're still able to do it. Where do you find these clients? Okay. Thanks, Adam. So taking BRRRR to the next level, getting paid. So where do you find these clients? Well, you have to network with wholesalers, real estate agents, investors, financial advisors, CPAs, accountants, other business owners. Remember, we're focused on helping business owners because that's where all of this is the foundation. A real estate investor is a business owner. Their primary role is to buy and sell properties or buy and hold properties. But as a principal, they are a business owner. And that means that our products are business owner focused. So any business owner that you come in contact to, they may already have some real estate goals in mind because it's another asset that they can invest in and they understand the principles of investing. You can go out to real estate meetups. You can go out to chambers of commerce. You can go out to other places like church or synagogue or mosque, and you just connect with people that are already out in space and you let them know that you're on the funding side. You will be surprised as to how many people come out of the woodwork once they find out that you are providing access to capital. Now, your job is then to tell everybody what you're doing. That is the secret sauce. You have to let people know that you're in this side of the business. If they don't know, then you can't be the one that they think of when they have their next deal. So you can promote yourself on social media like I do, Hard Money Gary. I got 30,000 followers over on TikTok. I got a couple thousand followers on Instagram. That's most likely how you guys found me, through ads on Instagram. But you want to be the one that they think of when they're looking at a real estate deal. Keep in mind that all you're doing is quarterbacking the transaction to close. You're ensuring that title, real estate agents, lenders all get the paperwork that they need and are requiring in the way that they want it, presenting it to them, and then they take care of the rest. Now, after having gone through just the first 40 minutes of this presentation, you should be able to answer most, if not all, of these questions. Like, what are the key differences between a hard money and DSCR loan? We talked about that. Short-term high interest loan that helps you get money for purchase and rehab, that's a hard money loan. DSCR loan, primarily for refinancing out of the hard money loan. What are typical interest rate and terms for each one of them? You should know that as well. DSCR loans are permanent financing. The interest rates on those are more aligned with the conventional, traditional interest rates on 30-year loans, but a little bit higher because of the convenience. The hard money side, that's 9 to 13%, or on here, 8 to 15%, still within the range. Do DSCR loans require personal income verification? No. What is the DSCR ratio and how does it affect the loan approval? We went over that. Gross rent over fixed expenses. When is it appropriate to use hard money loan versus DSCR loan in the BRRRR strategy? That is what we've gone through all through tonight. So if you guys feel like you're already a step ahead of the game, you can talk to the BRRRR strategy intelligently, then you are right at the cusp of putting this tool in your pocket and being able to make money in real estate. The boot camp that we're doing, that is going to allow you to really understand the principles of each of these tools, how to collect the documents efficiently. It'll get you the lenders that you can go to right now and start closing deals as fast as possible. Your only goal is to go out and tell people that you're on this side of the business, and you will be surprised about how many people come out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, Gary, I heard you're in the funding business. I got this deal. You want to take a look at it?" It's up to you to qualify them and qualify the deal. All right, let's bounce back out. Many lenders only allow 1% commission specifically on DSCR loans. What are your lenders allowing? I mean, I can charge up to 2 or 3% on DSCR loans. Mike, it seems like there's a lot of learning that you need to do about hard money and DSCR loans. I hope to see you in the loan broker boot camp so that we can get you all of the answers. And because it sounds like you know a lot about loan brokering and getting people funded. This is a tool that you can use to help your business be more real estate focused. Adam says, how in-depth info should I know for each loan option? How many lenders do you work with? Right now, I try to keep it simple. I'm working with 4 to 5 lenders at a time. There's a rotating cast because every time, lenders might fall off or they might go away and then you add in another one, but really 4 to 5. And if they can't be funded by those 4 to 5 lenders, then that deal just doesn't pass the smell test. Mike Soto, are we submitting the loan under your company name? Mike, I'll get into that. I see where you're going. We'll get into that. Clive Angelo, why would a borrower need good credit if the loan is asset-based, Clive? Because of the DSCR loan side, when we're going towards the BRRRR strategy, the highest leverage, the toggles that are on there, it is directly correlated to their personal FICO score. You can get a more asset-based DSCR loan, but the interest rate's gonna be really high, like 9, 10, maybe even 11%. We're not in the business of killing people that way. So if they have a 680 to 700 credit score or higher, then they can be more along the reasonable range for interest rates. And that's why. And if they have good credit, then it makes it all the much easier to get a hard money loan as well. You'll notice that the nationwide hard money lenders, which I'm looking to help you guys get access to, they have their guidelines allow them to leverage up to 90% of the purchase price and up to 100% of the rehab budget, even for newbies, because of the decent to high credit score. Listen, don't be afraid of credit. Credit is not something to be afraid of. If you need improving, then there are ways to do that. You can, uh, and if you need to work with my team on credit, on credit, I have referral partners and direct access to people that can get that done. And there might even be somebody in here tonight that also is in the credit and funding space. Okay, so this is the most important part of the presentation tonight. All right. If you guys are going and gals are going to take this business seriously, then you need to adopt the new golden rule. It's he who has the gold makes the rules. I mentioned just a moment ago that when somebody brings an opportunity to you, you have to qualify the borrower and you have to qualify the opportunity. Now, someone mentioned in there how much intimate knowledge should you know about hard money or DSCR loans before having this conversation? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. What you need to understand is how to ask some specific questions like, what's your cash look like? How's credit doing? How many times have you done a project like this before? How do you plan on making money? If you can ask those four questions in seemingly that order and within the first 4 to 5 minutes of your conversation, then the rest of the conversation goes really, really easy. If you don't ask those questions, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're submitting things to a lender that you have no business submitting, and you're just hoping and praying that the loan is going to get approved. And when we go forward into the boot camp, this is the whole focus on acting like a lender, qualifying the opportunities so that you're only working opportunities that you can get paid on, and building and scaling your clientele base of people that are doing this repeatedly so that you aren't chasing deals, you're building clients. Okay. So, as a broker, you must take control of the conversation like a lender. This involves thoroughly qualifying the borrower and the deal. Okay. Next, you're going to deep dive, you're going to do a deep dive into their financial status and experience, and then you're going to guide them towards the right solutions, whether that is working with you or it is not. A lot of times you're going to push people away because it's just not an opportunity that you have the means to fund. You're not here to do every deal. You're not here to do every deal. You want to do the deals that you can get paid on. If you try to do every deal, then you're going to spin your wheels trying to work opportunities that ultimately, whether it was you or me or any other loan broker working these deals, they were never going to work out. This is more of the visual of what you can make in this business. Okay, this is a screenshot from QuickBooks from back in December. I got to update the presentation, but we got here 2409, 2940, 2928, 3000, 2580, 2681, 2405, 2640. These are all from brokering. These are all from hard money and DSCR loans. Okay. So you can start to see the reality of no, these aren't huge checks like maybe wholesalers make, but you're not putting in hours and hours of cold calling. You're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars to talk to distressed sellers or generate those opportunities that ultimately may never pan out. This is more business to business. You're providing a service. This isn't a hard sell. You're not trying to force anyone to work with you. You're not trying to do things unethically. This is something where you're helping people do what they were already going to do, and we're going to work with somebody to get the money. Why not have them work with you? All right, I'm going to stop the share for a second because I see some questions coming through. The numbers have to work. Exactly, Deborah. Well, we have access to the system to qualify buyers, and how much is the commission? Gemma, I'm going to fully explain what the boot camp is going to be about in just a second. But what you guys need to know is that I'm here to empower you to take this business by the horns and do what you want to do with it, whether it's something that you want to do once a year for somebody that comes across in your network, or it's something where you want to go full in and you want to do 3 to 5 deals a month because that's where your financial goals are, and you want to make $5,000 a deal and you want to be at $15,000 to $25,000 in commission. If you want it, we can really run the gambit. That is what the this opportunity is really learning a skill set that you can have for life. And the more that you invest in that skill set and the more time that you put into developing that skill set, the more money you're going to make. Like I said at the beginning, I was a wholesaler. Okay. So I was trying to learn the business of real estate on being able to make offers and making sure that deals work. And then slowly I saw, okay, where is the niche that I can fit in? And that is being in between the people that need money and the people that have money. So the benefits of brokering, this money is never going to dry up. On the back end here, we're working with nationwide lenders that are selling these mortgage notes to hedge funds and large insurance conglomerates. They are buying these notes because they see the reward in the higher interest on them, and that it's backed by real estate. So the money's never going to dry up. You are leveraging your expertise in a more sales and marketing role without having to provide without having to provide your capital to lend on these deals. You're using somebody else's money in order to close them. You're building repeat clients that want to work with you over and over and over again. Real estate investors, while they may be rough around the edges and hard to talk to up front, once you do business with them and do business with them the right way, they will use you forever. You're going to be their guy or gal. Each deal can earn you $2,500 or more. I just showed you. Those are real checks. Those are, I mean, I usually have one right here. Yeah, those are real checks. So this is something where you can make 2913. You can make real money doing this. And whether you do this one time or you do this 3 times a month, it's about the effort that you invest into the skill set and being able to let as many people as you possibly can know that you're in this business, and you will see the leads and opportunities come to you. This is a highly profitable business. Like, it's very low cost to start up. You need an email address, a phone, laptop, and the ability to collect and move documents back and forth. It really is a simple business. So the next steps are going to be the Loan Broker Bootcamp, which is the broker challenge. On day one, we're going to master the broker method. We're going to dive into what this business actually looks like, how to structure your business, and the tools that you're going to need to master in order to have that expertise to share with the world. On day two, you're going to get the exact tools that I use in order to collect the data points, generate the term sheets, and get it out to the clients so that you can move with speed. Because the fastest way to make money in this business is to be fast, and more people will respect uh the speed at which you get them the information versus price shopping, because you're going to find that they're under contract and they have a timeline to close, and it's more about lining up the cash to get it done than price shopping it around the universe. On day three, we're going to dive into marketing, how to find these clients, free ways and paid ways to find clients, like going out to meetups and Facebook groups and putting yourself out there on social media and doing it the right way. And then on day five, or on day four, we're going to talk about how to take this nationwide and act like a pro and be a pro. Okay. So, questions on anything that we've covered so far? you guys are going to get as much value out of this presentation tonight as you put into it. So if you don't have any questions, then we're we're going to get stuck here. So I want to see where you guys are at. Um, if we need to go back over the BRRRR strategy, if you guys are confused, how do we get paid? How much money can I make? All right, so Gemma, will we have access to the system to qualify buyers, and how much is the commission? So the commission that you can make is uncapped, right? So I'm not trying to steal anything away from you. I want you guys to invest in yourselves and invest in your skill set so that you can build a business out for yourself. Will we be able to lend in Ohio? Absolutely. Missouri, 100%. In Alabama, absolutely. Ohio and Alabama are great because you can still find opportunities where the BRRRR strategy actually works. Same thing with Missouri. Just in Missouri, if you're focusing like the St. Louis area, you might be doing a little bit lower loan amounts, but still. Okay. So the exclusive benefits to getting in on the broker boot camp is that you're going to get access to the school group. And let me just show you the school group right now. So we have 159 members in here, and inside the school group, it's packed with all of the information that you're going to need to know to get started in this business. I put together a course on hard money and DSCR loan basics. So before the boot camp even starts, I want you to get through this course, which is included with the boot camp. Right now, you can get inside the school group for $47 a month or $397 for the year. There's an exclusive discount for getting in on the boot camp where you get this included, so at no additional cost. So right here, you can get the foundational knowledge for hard money and DSCR. You get recordings of previous boot camps for DSCR, all live recordings of when I do Zoom calls and TikTok lives, when I'm sharing the information about it, how to be more borrower facing, how to talk to your clients if you want to mimic and get the sales scripts from there. Also, previous boot camps that we did one in March and April. You'll get access to those boot camps as soon as you invest in the boot camp tonight. Also, some more information about just what this business looks like, how to set it up. And probably the most important thing here is that after you complete the boot camp, you will be eligible to use my processors to really make the sausage on all these loans so that you can focus on building your clientele base and getting out there, meeting people, pre-qualifying the deals, getting those that information over to my team and having my team take over the rest. That is that is how you can start to cash flow this business. If you guys are already entrepreneurial minded and see the time value of money, yeah, you can do all of this on your own. I'm doing it all on my own. I have my processors that I train, but there's some people that are better at doing real estate. There are people that are better at doing insurance or being an accountant, and they just want to have something where they can earn additional income without it being like a referral fee. A referral fee, that's going to be what, like $500 when you could be earning a point. You could be earning 2,500 or $3,000. Why not outsource the work in making that happen and earn more money? This is more than just a referral. If you're entrepreneurial minded, and you already see where the opportunity is, and that is using a processor to complete the processing of the deal and collecting the paperwork and quarterbacking it to close. Because without any experience, that is where the experience is required. Where the experience is not required is pre-qualifying the deal, just asking them those four questions. What's your cash look like? What's your credit look like? Have you done this before? And how are you making money? If you can answer those four questions intelligently and they're within the guidelines of what the of the lender that allows, then you are half the battle. Then you just need to collect the documents and get it to my processor. That is how the sausage is made. Okay, so what would another 4 to 5 figures do for your business? If you're thinking in your mind, is that going to be something where, yeah, even if you were to just do one deal per month, 2,500, what would that 2,500 do for your business? Would you invest it back into marketing? Would you do a nice pizza party for your employees? Would you take your spouse out shopping? Would you go on vacation? What would you do with that 2,500? I'm genuinely curious. What does it cost for the boot camp? We're going to get into it right now. It's more than a cup of coffee and less than a nice suit. What are the minimum loan amounts? Also, I just purchased the school community. Hey, Charles, I saw that. Um, we need to, I want to get on a call with you and we're going to work that out. Ray T, can we request your assistance on a deal if we need it after we take the boot camp? Yes, that is what I'm here for. Once you guys are in the community, you're in the community. So if you, whether you complete the boot camp, and then you want to do things on your own, that's where we need the questions in there. Because really, what I'm really the only goal for this is so that we can get testimonials and so that you guys are proof of concept that this actually works. I do not want to build a brokerage. I'm telling you, I don't want to build a brokerage. I want you guys to uh, invest in yourselves and your skill set, have an entrepreneurial mindset on how this business could be run by outsourcing the processing and all of the paperwork getting done. And you guys go out there and find the clients that and develop those clients and helping them do what they already were doing. In fact, that's what I wish that was out there when I first got into it. I had to do the 2 to 3 years of building all of these systems out. If I had just jumped into it from the gun, with somebody that had this right away, then the sky's the limit. As far as I know, there's no one out there that's offering this type of support. There are guys that are out there or gurus that are out there that are offering courses where, you know, sign up, work with me, work with my team, pay thousands of dollars to get to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. No, you guys can take the boot camp and then you're eligible to work with my processor so that you guys can go and do what you want to do with this business. There are people that are out there that are like, okay, we're going to be in the community, but we're only going to do so many calls. We're only going to do so much. No, I want to be helping you build and scale your business so that you can be successful. So, how many people do you know right now that you could fund their next deal? Do you guys have like a Rolodex of people that are like, okay, I've seen this person post on Facebook, or I'm intimate, I'm working with this person. I've worked with this person before. It seems like they're into flipping houses now. How many of you guys have somebody that's already in mind that you can work with today? At least three, says Lisa. At least three. Yes, a few people. See? I guarantee you that when you say, "Hey, listen, man, let me fund your next deal," I just got hooked up with a couple hard money and DSCR lenders. Love to have you give me the opportunity, at least give me a shot. Yes, a couple of investors, myself and a few others. All right, Deborah. I don't have any. Well, Douglas, then when you go into the boot camp, we're going to show you how to meet people. Charles says Myria Group. Again, Charles, we got to connect after this. I sent you a message on school, so let's connect and hop on a call um, and work it out. All right. So this business truly did change my life, and I'm hoping that it can change yours, mainly through the law of reciprocity. I figured out that when I help other people, I get rewarded financially and my network grows, especially if I stick true to what say that I'm going to do. Gary, monthly cost is $47 to submit deals, and you submit. No, 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 Mike, no. I like where I like how aggressive you are, Mike. I really do. And I hope that when you come through the boot camp that you bring that same energy so that everyone else can see that you can be an expert in not only this, but everything else. But when you stick to doing what you say that you're going to do, your network's going to grow. So that means that when you go and fund someone else's deal, then they're going to pass your name along. And that's how the organic marketing starts to feed on itself. And when you tell people that you're doing this, you're going to be the first person that they think of so that when they need money, you're the one that they call. This is a repeatable process that you can do over and over and over again, and you can help real estate investors build and scale their rental portfolios or get into flipping houses by offering them a simple to use tool that they will eventually going to need at some point in their real estate career. As a reminder, on day one, we're going to go over more in depth on brokering using the BRRRR strategy so that you guys are mastering how to talk about it and how to position yourself as an expert, because that is what you're getting paid on. Positioning yourself as an expert and allowing and seeing the deal for what the numbers look like and helping them make the right decision, whether it's to work with you or not. Day two, you're going to get the templates and the tools that are necessary to execute this, the ones that I use, and recommendations for any other tools that you may already be using or exposed to. On day three, we're going to talk about the marketing and how to find clients and find lenders, free ways and paid ways. And then on day four, we're going to talk about doing this nationwide, putting yourself out there and doing this like a pro. Alejandro says, can we do loans on commercial properties? Absolutely. We have lenders that do office, retail, light industrial, multifamily, just no gas stations, but almost everything else. As a reminder, this is the kind of real money that you can earn as commissions. 2,500, 2,900, 2,600. On Monday, tomorrow, I'm closing on a deal that's going to make me 6,900. Last month, I did a deal that I closed $1 million loan. We made 10 grand. That's 1 point on $1 million. So this is real money that you can get to that 4 to 5 figure level every single month with relative ease. It could be one or two deals to get you to 5 figures. It's 197, $197 for the boot camp. I can't make it any cheaper. It has to be just enough so that you guys can commit to coming all 4 days, and it has to be relatively low cost so that I can give this opportunity to the most amount of people. All right. So if Damien's still in here, then he can get you guys the link to sign up. Do you help with do you help us with fee agreements? So when you're saying fee agreements, most of the time I'm not sending out a contract for them to work with me exclusively. It's not a part of my process, but that is a part of the process when we're talking more about business funding or doing the capital stacking strategy, which we will cover through the boot camp and how that plays into the BRRRR strategy and helping our clients accelerate their speed to acquisition and refinance. But for everything else that you guys had asked, the boot camp's 197. Throughout the boot camp, we're going to talk about broker fee agreements so we can get paid. Yeah, I can walk you through the how to get paid, but most of the time I'm going to show you which lenders to get connected with, and then you're going to sign your own agreements with those lenders. My role here is to help you guys start this business the way that I wish that someone had explained it to me and shown me how to do it. And then once you complete the boot camp, I'm going to help you execute by you leveraging my processors. Obviously, you can work with me one-on-one. I have the one-on-one coaching available, and throughout the boot camp, we're going to be talking about what the what that looks like when you work with me one-on-one, because some of you guys are going to come to the boot camp and there's only so much that we can cover on those 4 days. But there may be some things that you guys need more intense knowledge basis on, or building out the systems, or really coming up with your brand voice and being able to put yourself out there on social media. I've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for social media coaches and ad specialists and people that have developed the tools. I want to be able to give that to you, and really create that law of reciprocity. So if you guys have already gotten in on the boot camp, go ahead and throw some emojis in the chat. I know that there's some people that already took the next step. So go ahead and get on in and throw some emojis here. And in a second, we are going to pull some people up. If you guys have any questions that you want to get answered live here on tonight's call. Just use your raise your hand tool and I'll be able to bring you up. Patrick, if you're still on in here, this would be the time to come on up. Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Uh, Good evening. Yes, I was just wondering if we're not able to make a boot camp on a particular night, those are recorded so we can do this at our own time.
Absolutely. So once you guys sign up tonight, then you will get access to the 2 previous boot camps through the mini course section in the school group. And after for the April one, we were able to release the recordings the night of. So you should be able to get access to it the night of the recordings. We're going to be doing them from 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Monday through Thursday, the week of May 5th.
Okay. And you did say a community, so when we have questions about various topics, we're able to catch you during one of the lives, or
Yes. So
there.
we do a weekly call on Wednesdays. So where
Oh,
you can get access to me
okay.
live right there. And then also we have 100 and well, close to 160 members inside of the school group. So if you post a question in there, most likely someone has the answer, but I'm very active in there and getting, questions answered and providing tools and templates. Like even over this weekend, someone posted in there about types of white label term sheets that they want to send out to folks. And so there's already posts in there that are valuable to review.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming up, Lisa. Right. So if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and pop up here. Use the raise your hand tool. As a reminder, we have the link right here. If you guys have already gone to it, then so once you guys hit the button here, then you'll fill out just a few questions, upload your payment. And as a reminder, day one, we're going to be going over the broker method, the BRRRR method, which is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. How to intimately talk about that and position yourself as an expert to talk to how hard money and DSCR loans help business owners build and scale their rental portfolios, and how to review a deal. You're going to need to know the basics about those tools to talk intelligently, but you can get away with a lot by just getting some questions answered. Are you help us set up with lenders? Yes. Yes, I'm going to get you set up. Understood. The cost of the boot camp is 197. Thereafter, there's a cost. No. So you guys get the school group for free lifetime once you guys invest in the boot camp. I'm just asking the question. Normally, a broker submits the file to a lender directly. Exactly, Mike. So yes, you can submit the file to the lender directly, but there's a lot of time wasted in doing that on your own, which is why when you can use my processing service, there is an investment to use the processing service, but it's discounted when you guys complete the boot camp. But if you're entrepreneurship minded and you can see the time leveraging where you don't want to be going back and forth with the clients over and over again to collect the documents, you'd rather have a team do that for you, that's how you can do it. How much is that investment? We'll talk about that on the boot camp, but and when you complete the boot camp, the processing service, it's worth the time. It's worth the time. So let's say, for instance, you're charging $5,000 as your broker fee. You're doing a $250,000 loan and you're working with one of our wholesale lenders where they're at 1 point and you want to stay within the nationwide average of 12% and 3 points. You're going to charge 2 points on that $250,000 loan. Let's say the processing fee was only, 650 or $1,000, depending on what level you're at with us. Then you're still able to take home 4,000 or more for doing almost no work, just pre-qualifying the client and submitting the documents. Once boot camp is over, will we be able to submit loans or is there something else we need to do? Can you resend the link? Yeah. Here's the link right there, Ray. Once boot camp is over, will we be able to submit loans or is there something else we need to do? So, Chris, I want to be able to help you build and scale this business at your own pace. So, when you submit a loan, we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to do the same viability test about your borrower. We're going to have that conversation and then we're going to get on with collecting the documents and processing it for you. Correct, Mike. Correct, Mike. I have loan experience. I just don't have the resources to submit loans to. All right, Chris. So just getting in with the boot camp, if you don't already know the lenders, then obviously you're going to get the lenders. But there's specific things that you need to be able to talk to about these specific loan products so that you can be intelligent about and helping your clients do what they're looking to do. And so it's different than typical mortgages. It's different than other types of loans that are out there. So still worth it to get the resources. And then obviously, as you're a part of the community, as we add in more lenders and more resources, then you get access to those as well. If you guys would like to hop up here, use the raise your hand tool, and then we'll bring you up here. And if you have any questions, I'm sure there's people that are here that are afraid to ask the questions, so you'll be able to help them get their questions answered as well. Hey, Chris,
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I love doing the Sunday night webinars.
I love it as well. So I too, I teach. I'm a coach. I have mentees. So I have
Sweet.
yeah. I'm a real estate investor. Been in this business for about 27 years. Um, but this is a piece I want to add. So I understand what you're doing, because like I say, I do this as well. But I'm looking to find out because I don't know if I'm asking these questions correctly. Will we be set up as a broker? Are you
Yeah.
helping us set up a brokerage, or are we
I
going to
don't.
be pretty much doing everything through you?
So on the boot camp, I'm going to show you how to do this for yourself. The last thing that I want to do is build a brokerage because I don't believe in that model. Because where I came from, if I worked at a brokerage, all I would do is see, oh my gosh, this commission split sucks. I'm doing all of the processing. I'm doing all of the lead generation. Why are they getting 60% of the points?
Right.
Whereas I'd rather you have your own broker agreement with the lenders. You have your built-in network of people that you're already mentoring, but the missing piece that you don't have is that you don't have an expert team that's already processing these loans, that's familiar with those lenders. And so all you need to do is find the details about the deal, submit those to me and my team, and then we go and close with the lenders that you're already have your broker agreement set up with. So we could be borrower facing, we could be facing with your client and directly with them, or that could be just with you, and then we collect the rest of the documents and coordinate everything else.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Good. Hope to see you through on the boot camp there, Chris.
You will.
Okay. All righty, guys. So Chris is probably the most like that is really what this is for. If you guys see the cash flow and leverage your time. So he has a built-in network of people that are already doing these deals. He just wants to add in the piece where he can help them fund the deal and make a piece off of it. Where I will, Chris, we didn't talk about this, and this is something where I wish that you would have just asked this. If you're wholesaling the deal to them, then there may be a little bit of a conflict where we might have to close in my entity, but you still get your points because the lenders don't want to see the arm's length transaction. But I don't know if you're wholesaling deals to your group. Can we get any discounts on those loans for ourselves, Mike? So that's the thing. If you have your own uh, broker agreement with a lender, then it's yes, you can get the loans at wholesale, but I can't say for certain that you're going to get like a discount. It's going to be because you're still going to have to process the loan yourself. That's really what it is. Do the borrowers pay an extra application fee? I don't want to collect an application fee. I think that that's um, part of the business that makes it a little bit scummy. So I'm coaching you guys on how to close your client without any upfront like contract with them that seems like you're binding them to something or collecting any money outside of an appraisal. Or can we charge points to ourselves? You're just would be paying yourselves. If you want to double dip or if you want to do something like that, then yay, I'm finally in the boot camp. All right, Ray, let's go. Mike, if you want to double dip or something like that, then maybe we could work it out where you broker through my entity, and then I just get you the points afterwards, but we'll work that out later. Will the resources and knowledge you'll share during the boot camp and beyond be general guidance, or will they be specific to certain lenders and their programs? I mean, let's go into the community. I mean, well, I'll show you right now. Like, um, if someone's posting in here, lenders offering less than 50,000, here's a term sheet. This is what I was talking about with the other lady that just hopped on here. Hey, I'm looking to revamp my term sheet. Anyone have a nice template you want to share? And I just put my template in there, and then I had another team member put this together. That's normal what we're going through on the land loan direct lenders. So this is a community where people are asking questions and we're trying to help each other grow. This isn't something like there's a lot of groups out there that are all about the guru trying to make money off every single fucking thing. And that's just not what we're doing. Alejandro, looking forward to see you there. Andrew, I think no application fees gives us an advantage over brother brokers that do charge. Yes, you are correct, Andrew. And just so you know, what I put out there on social media and what I put out there to kind of position myself as an expert is I say if a broker is trying to collect an application fee from you, that means that they're not confident in what they're going to do because we only get paid when the deal closes, and that helps us be a better advocate for our clients and a better partner for our lenders. We have two clients on every deal. We have the real estate investor and we have the lender. And quite frankly, there's a real estate investor born every day. So we want to be a little bit more loyal to the lenders because as a plug, that's where our product comes from. Not to say that we want to develop clients the right way. So we want to get repeat business. Guys, go ahead and drop your questions in here. We've been on since 8 o'clock tonight, and you guys have 22 of you have hung out with me the entire way. I want to be able to answer your questions and see if we can get anything else answered for you. If you're on the fence about getting in on the boot camp, one thing might be, because it is a little bit far out on the 5th, for anyone that signs up tonight, I want to get you on a one-on-one call. Now, that one-on-one call, we're going to keep it to 15 to 20 minutes, but we're going to talk about how you can best be served by this business and customize your experience so that when you come into the boot camp, we already know how to talk to your clientele base or who you best want to serve. So if you're already a business loan broker, we're going to talk about how to position your capital stacking alongside the BRRRR strategy so that you can help them get money for the down payment, points, fees, and closing costs alongside the hard money loan and the DSCR loan. If you're already a real estate investor, we're going to talk about how you can leverage our service to better serve your clientele base, or those pick your brain people you can start to capitalize on them. So basically, if we accept an application, we should be pretty sure it will close. That is not what I'm saying, because anything can happen through the course of processing a deal. If you've done any deal in real estate, you know that there's always something that comes up. What I'm saying is that you should be confident in your borrower in relaying the information to you and the data that you are putting into it, that you have a higher likelihood than not of it closing. Lenders have borrower paid and lender paid rates. Can you go into a bit of that? Okay. So that's more, so if you're going to charge, okay. Blah, blah, blah. So advanced, Mike, so advanced. And I love that question. All of our fees, our broker fee and our points are going to be borrower paid. What's going to be lender paid is if we increase the interest rate either on the hard money or the DSCR loan side. That's going to be represented as yield spread premium. On a hard money loan, how that's calculated, if we're getting a base rate of, let's say, 10.5%, and we mark it up to 12, then that's 1.5% yield spread over the course of the loan. So if we're working with one of our lenders, we're going to get paid fractionally per month of how much that borrower used of the funds on that difference of the interest rate and get paid out each month. On the DSCR loan side, we're going to get paid at closing as if it were an additional origination point. So if you mark it up by half a point or a full percentage point, then you will get an additional half a point or percentage point lender paid at closing. Now, this is where you have to be conscious that the borrower that you're looking to serve, if they're making interest payments on the hard money loan that are higher than what they could have been paying, and the deal doesn't go the way that it should, then how would you feel if they knew that that was what could have been their payment? This would mainly be on like the lower end side of the deal funding that you would want to use the yield spread. So if it's only going to be $100,000 loan, it's going to be hard to charge enough points where it's justified, where you make a 25 or a $3,000 fee. This is where you should bump up the interest rate a little bit so that you can make more money on it. But if you're talking about a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 loan and you're bumping their interest rate up by a half a point, that's big bucks each month that they're going to be putting out in interest that they could have been saving, and you were making enough on the origination points. Well, not enough, but you made, if you're charging a point, then you're within the range that I'm talking about. You're charging a minimum of 2,500 and getting up there. Good question though, Mike. Hey guys, if you have any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat or use the raise your hand tool and I'll bring you up here. I want to be going, it is 9:30. I want to be going for as long as you guys need me to talk about this. Otherwise, I will catch you on the boot camp, which is going to be May 5th, Monday through Thursday, from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern. The link I just put in the chat again. Go ahead and put an emoji in the chat if you have already signed up. I know a couple of people have come back and said, yeah, I'm in, but Ray's in here. Adam, are you in here yet? Andrew, how about you? Christy? Christy, you've hung out here long enough. Let's get you on the other side. Gerald, you too. James, Scott's in here. Chris is in here. Awesome. Javon, Lisa, you asked some questions. Lisa, let's see you in there. Loey Fotu, I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. Shirley Bostic, how about you? Tennille, what's holding you back? You think you're on here yet? Alejandro says we need to wait until boot camp before we can fund loans. No, no. But if you're not going to wait, then go through the boot camps that are already in the school group. There's two in the loan broker mini course section. There's the March boot camp and the April boot camp. Go through those. They're hour-long sessions. There's 4 sessions per boot camp, so it's 8 hours worth of training there. If you listen to it at double speed, you can get it done in 4 hours. Let's go, Ray. Okay, so that is all I got for tonight. Oh, Mike says, okay, when I came into this webinar, I thought it was about private money and on how to get down payment money. Okay. But it has turned to be an interesting webinar. And even though I am already set up, it might be something to my advantage. You mentioned that you provide ideas on getting more deals. Absolutely. And Mike, the principles of this are the same. This is private money. It's private institutional money, but the principles are the same. And what we go over on what was that? It was day 3 where we find clients and lenders. As you start to tell people that you're funding deals, there are going to be private lenders that you come across, people that are lending their own cash, or even more private funds that have more flexibility in their guidelines where they may not care about credit. They may not care about experience. They may not care about some other things where they're a little bit more flexible. And we're going to talk about how to vet those people as well. Because while they may be flexible in other areas, they still might be more expensive. Like, for instance, I know a hard money lender that's local to me that will do any deal. They will do any deal. They don't care about the borrower's credit or experience because they're only going to lend up to 65% of the project. That's it. They're not going to do 90% purchase and 100% rehab. They're going to do 65%. That's it. But they're a hard money lender, and if someone's got shitty credit and they got a you know a razor thin deal, they will lend on it. I'm having to step off. Good night, Javon. See you on the 5th. Andrew, do you end up telling of the borrowers they don't qualify, like if they don't have the experience? That is part of the game. We are looking to qualify the borrowers and the deal. If they don't fit with what we're looking for, then it makes more sense to give them guidance on how they eventually will be able to work with us rather than trying to force something to work today. Like if they don't have experience. Okay, I just heard 65%. Yeah. That was more in reference to what uh Mike was saying, and the principles are the same. It's putting yourself in between the people that have money and the people that need money. Private lenders come in all different shapes and sizes. We're talking more about the institutional private lenders. There are private lenders that lend out of their self-directed IRA, or they may be inherently wealthy individuals that want to lend on these projects, or other real estate investors that are more savvy and have cash to lend on projects. They may have more flexibility, but you're going to have to meet those people. And the skill set that I'm showing you is how to get yourself out there and exposed to those different types of people. Okay, folks, that just about wraps it up for tonight. So I want to thank you all for coming through here tonight. If you feel like you got even a little bit of value out of tonight, go ahead and put an emoji in the chat. And if I'm going to see you on the 5th, definitely put an emoji in the chat. I want to see it light up, and then we're going to end it off tonight because we got to see if Cody Rhodes and John Cena tear the house down tonight at WrestleMania Night 2 Sunday. We got to go get to that. Ray, let's go. Chris, let's go. Lisa, let's go. Andrew, let's go. All right, Mike. Oh, yes. All of you that booked tonight, I'm going to be reaching out to hop on a call with you. So make sure that we get that call scheduled as well. All right, that's it for tonight, folks. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and have a happy Easter. See you on the 5th.